Hello, everybody. It's Rabbi Dov Chastain. I hope you're doing well. This week, we are starting a new book of the Torah. We're starting the book of Shemos, of Exodus. And I want to share with you a short D'var Torah on this week's Parsha. And I'm going to take a much longer D'var Torah from Rabbi Doniel Lehrfield and boil it down to a shorter idea. The idea is that dedicating oneself to Torah really sets you free. And in the beginning of this parsha, we're told about how the Shibud Mitzrayim begins, the subjugation, the servitude, the slavery to the Egyptians begins. We have a pasuk that says, "Vayamaru es chayehem," they embittered their lives, b'avoda kasha, with hard work, b'chomer u'b'ulveinim, with mortar and with bricks. And there is a very enigmatic Zohar that my Rosh Yeshiva Rabbi Lehrfield used to quote, where it says, "Vayamaru es chayehem b'avoda kasha." What's it mean with hard work? Zu kushya. This refers to a question in learning. Bechomer, zu kal v'chomer. It refers to, again, a argument in learning Torah called a kal v'chomer. And levanim, zu libun halacha. That means clarifying halacha. Levanim, which means bricks, really refers to clarifying the halacha. And my Rosh Yeshiva explained what this is talking about. Chazal tell us that Shevet Levi did not experience the slavery in Egypt. They were not slaves. This is actually why Moshe and Aaron had free reign to be able to go to Paro and ask him about the needs of the Jewish people, tell him about plagues that were coming. They had the ability to do that because they weren't slaves. So my Rosh Yeshiva explained they weren't slaves physically, but that's because they took care of the obligation of slavery in a different way. See, Levi were the priests of Klal Yisrael. They were the people who were completely dedicated to learning Torah. They were spending their entire day in the Beis Medrash. And through toiling in Torah, they really set themselves free of the physical servitude because they were working very hard and they were ensuring that they were getting all of their learning clear so they could be the transmitters of Torah to the Jewish people. And this really goes in line with what Chazal tell us in Pirkei Avos, that if a person takes upon himself the old Torah, the yoke of Torah, then the old derech eretz, the yoke of all of the worldly needs we have to work in, all of the toil that we usually have to do in the natural world is lessened, and Hashem gives us the ability to focus on the Torah, because when Hashem says sees that we're dedicating ourselves to his service, he makes other things in our life not necessarily go away, but be taken care of. He makes things work out so that we could continue to dedicate ourselves to his service. And that's really the idea of this Zohar, and that's really the idea of Shevet Levi, of the tribe of Levi, not experiencing the Shibud, because Torah can set you free. If you're really dedicating yourself to a life of service of Hashem, Hashem will ensure that you're able to do that, and you can serve him properly. May we all merit to be of the people who are serving Hashem properly and have the old derech eretz lifted as we exercise ourselves in the old Torah.